Hello. Hello.
Hi. Oh, 1 second.
I'm in your
Hello.
home.
Let me
Oh,
turn that off.
hi. I
That's
can hear
gonna
me.
Be a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
I can't stand that.
I got it.
All right, you fixed it.
I fixed it.
Hello.
I fixed the echo, everybody. I'm sorry about that. Let me figure out the best way to do this.
Always Coca-Cola.
I told you
Mike's mad that that's stuck in my head.
I don't know. That's not the Coca-Cola thing I think of.
It's probably the Coca-Cola.
You're
song.
probably right, and now I'm even more mad because I'm wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, I do.
You want me to say it? Hi, everybody. How's it going?
I'm doing good.
Great. Fantastic. Everyone, audio and visuals, how are we looking and sounding? Do a local recording, you fucking idiot. I can do it right here. It comes on this zip drive. Just gotta push this record button, AJ told me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was not gonna pick up like the music, I guess, but
Yeah.
look at our audio.
Yeah.
So there.
Cool.
All right. We'll probably get started in a second here. They should hear the music when I play. Yeah, we'll all hear the music.
We're in the Discord, Christian, if you want to be in there, but
Yeah, you can still be in the Discord.
yeah, if you don't want to do that, if you have like a hot date or something.
Mm-hmm.
How are our levels? I think
Everyone says it's fine.
Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, cool.
I had a hot day with your mom, motherfucker.
Damn.
Oh shit.
Gotta lower that.
Damn. No,
It's
I
weird.
said we're gonna do the Discord and you didn't answer, so a lot of
Well, we were
it's not happening.
getting here and getting
Right?
set up, you know.
Yeah, with your mom.
Ha ha ha. It's funny when you say you're gonna.
All right. I'll
Fornicate with other people's mothers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why don't
it's
we?
pretty funny.
Why don't we met tweets or skeet at least? Let's skeet on our individual phones.
All right.
Come on, you can do it.
Tell me what to do.
You can do
No, the
it.
reason is the main.
A lot of
The
work.
reason is my main.
YouTube.
Never mind. I already lost it.
Mr. B.
Test, test,
Stop-
1,
please
2,
stop
3.
this.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm gonna bump you up. This guy told Kodo talks like Chef Grubb sometimes.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Tokoto.
Shit, I didn't bring my LED scroller in here. No, it's too late.
I'm afraid to
Yell.
move this mic, but I'm gonna
Yell a
do
little
it
bit.
anyway.
Yo, I'm like, and I think it's bullshit that Jeff sings the
that's
Coca-Cola
good.
song that I.
Always Coca-Cola.
Ugh, that was
That's
loud.
good. You sound so much better than the Blue Jetty with those mics.
Well, we're using AJ's very expensive audio setup here.
Where's my? Okay, there we go.
Stop asking Jeff how my house smells. Look, the living room probably not great because of Pendy. This room's probably fine.
It smells good.
Right.
This smells like a homey home.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Can you keep it?
Can I keep his home?
No, the interface, the audio.
No, but somebody else sent me a XLR. I just haven't
You just
plugged
need
it
to
in
set
yet.
up.
Might just wait till I get that new computer at this point. Okay, we're gonna get
Bachelor?
started here, everybody.
ahead.
Just gotta drive home still.
Yes, please. Let's get this going.
All right.
All
Where
right.
do I put that? Podcast songs. All right, here we go.
It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is...
Mike Minotti.
In today's episode, we're not doing these things, are we? It was a half-
Well, not halfway through. No, you have to go off the fly here about what we're talking about.
Yeah, how about this? We're going to do our game of the year. We're going to tell you everything to think about the year 2024. We've got our favorite games. We will decide Game Mess's favorite game. A couple of categories, nothing major. We're just going to hang out, have fun, talk about video games. How are you doing, Mike Minotti?
I'm great. We just got back from hanging out at Awesome Games Done Quick over in Pittsburgh. That was a lot of fun. We got to watch the entire Tears of the Kingdom All Dungeons speed run. Caught a bit of Lies of P. They've made a lot of jokes about P. The guy said he was going to beat it a lot, and I laughed.
We did laugh at that, yes.
Yes.
Mostly you. I'm sorry. It was about to fall over. I tried to fix it. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna hold it.
There you go. You got this.
Yep.
We got a makeshift set up in my office today.
I'm in your home. I'm right here,
Yeah.
right next to you. I can touch you,
Yeah.
and I'm doing it. I'm
It's
touching.
disturbing.
That's weird.
It is strange. We've done the in-person Game of the Year podcast before at your home. This is the first time doing it here. Have we ever done a podcast together here?
I don't think not at your house. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So here we are, everybody. It's nice. It's nice to have you here. You gave me an excuse to clean the place up a little bit. My desk was just absolutely covered in garbage, yes, but other things. So now, like, I can't even see that. That was just for you. I didn't want you to judge me for how messy my setup was.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah. Like, because things pile up underneath the monitor, right? Like, that's the area I would most want to clean up, too, because it's like, oh, that's just, I look like a slob.
This is where I spend most of my time. So there's a lot of things that I think need to be within reach. And then when I really sit down and look at it, I'm like, actually, this electric bill from 2 years ago is not very important.
Yeah. Chris is complaining that you don't clean it for him and Ash Guy, and Ash Guy also complained about this at dinner.
Yeah, they're a bunch of just whiny little bitches, aren't they?
Well, now I know where you get it from.
Aren't they a lot? But I've been to Games of Quick before. That was
Sorry.
that was. You sure don't just want to hold the microphone?
I'm probably going to have to hold the microphone. I'm afraid that is going to be... Here, I'm going to let this thing do its thing. I think that's going to hold. Okay. Is there, like, hand sounds for me holding it? That's the thing I'm worried about.
There might be some hand sounds. You might be holding it too close to your mouth.
Yeah, I'm going to hold it down here. How about that?
Yes, Christian.
No, it's fine. The audio is fine. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
You can move around.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, did you have a good time at Games Done Quick?
I had a good time at Games Done Quick. It was I would mention to you guys, showing up there, they've got that thing figured out. There is so much, like everywhere you look, there is something happening, people taking care of things. There was a shelf that had 8 different game cubes on it. They had 3 stages ready to go. Like when one was playing a game, the other ones were getting set up. There was, during that Zelda speedrun, which was the bulk of our time there, both other stages were getting ready because one was going to be a short little 20-minute thing, and then the next major speedrun was getting set up, and there was, like, you know, professional tech directors helping out everyone across the board. It's just a well-oiled machine. It was impressive to see, and of course, it's just fun to be there.
Yeah. Remember early on when Christian was like, oh, you guys going to record this? I'm like, yeah, there's a button right here that I can push to record it locally.
Yeah, you pressed it, right?
Sure.
Now? Now, to be fair, he's in the Discord, right? You were probably recording locally, right,
Okay,
Christian?
I'm recording.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, it's going great, everybody.
First podcast, so.
I pushed that button. Yeah, it is just a very well-oiled machine that they got going there at this point. It's still, you know, like, I don't know, maybe there's some people like, it's not as grassroots as it used to be. It still feels like a very small community. Like, all those people, you can sense that a lot of them know each other. They're friends. They've been through this with each other a lot. There's a community vibe there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you get the sense that, I mean, everyone is a volunteer. Everyone shows up, and they're just they're there because they love it, and it's fun to see, like, you know, the minor celebrities of the speedrunning scene, like, holding court as they, like, walk around, and, you know, like, everyone wants to get a high
Talk
five.
about Spike Vegeta.
Everyone wants to get a high five from Spike Vegeta. I'm like, yeah, of course you do. That guy's great. So yeah.
Second year in a row is too shy to say hi to him.
Well, eventually he's going to recognize us for who we are.
Yeah.
And come say hi to us.
Some people did say hi to us. Thank you
Yes,
very much
everyone,
for
thank
doing
you
that.
everyone who did say hi.
I need those ego boosts every now and then.
I believe Caitlin said it was one of the people that said hi. I think that was her name. I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but yes, it was very nice to talk to everybody.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. They had a nice arcade setup too. Go ahead, tell them you beat me.
Yeah, I beat you in Street Fighter 3 again. I do wonder how that makes you feel.
Well, I do have to immediately make you play me in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 so I can feel better again.
We were about to leave the arcade, and as we're leaving, he spotted Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and you could tell how relieved he was that he's like, okay, no, we got to do this real quick. I'm like, all right, Mike, here we go. And I'm lost in that game. So it was fun. A nice arcade. They had a nice rhythm arcade. Rhythm
yeah,
game
they have like
arcade
a whole
section.
rhythm section.
I don't know what that's called. The, like, spin your finger around
Right.
the cylinder as the rhythm game happens. But I got to play that, and I was super into that. I love rhythm games, so that was cool to finally play that.
There's like that's like a whole thing with any kind of like nerd adjacent convention I've been to. They will have a room set up with all these imported Japanese rhythm games.
I mean, I think the people that, like, are responsible for those machines want people to play them. And so any opportunity to like put them in a room at a place with a bunch of nerds, they're going to take that opportunity. And I love that.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a ton. But there was like a Beat Mania set up there. That one with all the cubes from Konami. I think it's something cube. I don't know. But yeah, it was a great time. I love that. It's in Pittsburgh. Awesome Games Done Quick, so I'm able to just drive up there. I don't know how long it's going to be like that, but I want to take advantage of it as long as I can. But, Jeff Grubb, there is some important gaming news that happened today, right?
Yeah, as we were driving to Pittsburgh, I think we saw that Ubisoft announced that it is delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows a month from February into March. Pretty late into the fiscal year. It'll be March 20th, so right around my birthday.
Yes. In a statement, Ubisoft said the additional development time would allow it to better incorporate the player feedback gathered over the past 3 months and help create the best conditions for launch by continuing to engage closely with the increasingly positive Assassin's Creed community.
Is that how you would describe it?
Right, but Yee's statement... gosh, was Yee's the one that had like the insane? One of them.
Yeah, I think it's. Is that third paragraph right there? What does that say? To fully deliver on the potential of the game and finish the year on a strong note. Yeah. Okay. So the delay comes alongside news that Ubisoft has appointed advisors to review various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options for the business, following a year in which its market value has more than halved.
We're reading this from VGC's story, by the way. Everybody.
Yes. It's. I don't know. It's a mess. The way that he is phrasing this sounds like, first, let's get out of February. Of course, let's get out of February. 2, let's give the game a little bit more time. And then 3, we are trying to seek any opportunity to partner with a company like Tencent. It's a lot of money to take over a lot of the company. And we want to do that before this game comes out, because after the game comes out, that's that. That is what Ubisoft is. They are the company that put out that Assassin's Creed game, and anything that happens afterwards is kind of not going to matter as much as a new Assassin's Creed. So, an investor, some savior coming along trying to give them money is going to know exactly what they have in Ubisoft. At this moment, before Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, there's still that anything can happen possibility. This could be Game of the Year. This could be the one that sells as well as any Assassin's Creed game has ever sold. And I think Ubisoft wants to strike now, and so they're giving themselves a little bit more time. I don't necessarily think that is going to be some bold strategy that works out well for them, but here we are. And getting out of February, not a bad idea for that game.
Yeah, February is pretty crowded. We got Monster Hunter, Like a Dragon, Civilization, maybe something else, I forget now. But yeah, lots of stuff was already happening in February. Now, Assassin's Creed was always kind of a big fish in that pond anyways, right? But yeah, why not delay at this point for all those reasons that they state?
What's up, Christian?
What feedback did they got from the game for the game? What's the
Too woke!
Does anybody know? Like,
They're gonna unwoke it in a month.
Yeah, they're gonna make
that's
the
only
black
thing I
guy
remember people-
Japanese and make the Japanese woman.
a dude?
Also a
guy.
Japanese dude. Yeah.
So yeah, 2 Japanese guys. Yeah.
Japanese dudes. There we go.
Oh, that's right, Avowed. I bet Avowed, if anybody's going to benefit from this, maybe it'll be Avowed.
Yeah. I mean, if Avowed comes out, gets really good reviews, it'll be have a really good chance of doing well in that month. I think that's a lot of that game's future depends on how well it reviews. But Ubisoft continues to be this house fire, and this does not sort of instill any sort of confidence that things are going to change over there. So, I mean, I was excited about Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think your brother in the car when we were talking about this said the same thing, and it's like every little tidbit has made me less confident in it, and that's where I'm like at a low point with this game.
Christian, do me a favor, say something again.
I'm saying something again.
Yeah,
Is
that's
this
a little bit
working?
better.
Chat,
Yeah,
hello,
that's better.
chat.
I'll give you a little, but I'll bump you as much as I can. That should help a little.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right.
for bumping me out.
You might have to speak up if you're going to speak up, though, because Chat
All
keeps
right,
having a
I'm
hard
gonna
time
speak
hearing
out.
you.
Okay, well, don't do that. Then now you're breaking.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, sorry, Christian. What now? What now?
Let me adjust my volume.
Yeah,
Let's see
you
if
got to.
that
Yeah, if you can
works.
raise yourself up, you're
Yeah,
still.
but be careful because now he has
There we
a 200%. So
Yeah.
There we go. Test. There we go.
All right. So, kind of the other thing here, Jeff. Everyone talking about, and like at the end of Nintendo Dogs, we were talking about how all the Nintendo leaks and all this stuff. And then everybody started freaking about Genki just straight up having like a Switch 2 model there, right?
Yep.
I don't know. Just any more thoughts about this? The Switch 2 leaks have just gotten so out of control at this point.
Yeah, were there more this morning that or in the last day or two? I don't know. It's kind of relentless. I think the last thing we heard that maybe we didn't talk about on Nintendogs was apparently there are just Switch 2s available to people who are like Genki and manufacturers in China if they want to go buy one on the black market. If they want to go to the black market and buy a Switch 2, they can do it right now. Now,
somebody's going to just buy one of those who's just going to like really leak that thing, right?
Well,
if that's the case.
Well, yeah,
if it's the case.
But I mean, of course, right? So doesn't that make you think, well, that can't be true because all we've seen so far is the kind of information you would get from a 3D render or a printed 3D mold, because it's all about like, here's what the Joy-Cons look like. Here's what the buttons are. Here's all this stuff. Here's like, oh, here's an optical sensor. No one has said anything about what it does when you turn it on, which would be the first thing you would do, right? That's the first thing I would do. I don't give a shit about all the hardware stuff. It looks like a Switch. What happens when you turn it on? No one's talked about that.
Yeah, we're just, Switch Watch continues. It continues to feel imminent here. It's a matter to me, like, how many more podcasts am I going to record before they announce this thing imminent? It should be very soon.
I mean, we know that there's a finite number on there, like by the end of March. So every week it feels like it could happen. We'll see. Even as rumors like pop up, it's just so much better to be like, they will announce it when they announce it. What can we do about it? What we could do about it is a lot of people are going out and getting leaks of different kinds. So I guess we'll just keep dealing with that as it happens. But in the meantime, I continue to be the most interested in what happens when you turn the damn thing on and what the games are. And we haven't gotten anything about that yet. So Nintendo still holds a lot of cards to get us excited, and that, they're fine. They're going to do what they're going to do on their own terms.
Yeah, as much as the hardware is leaked, we don't know much about that Mario game, what that's going to be like, or what else is going to be happening at the launch. So there's still going to be a lot of excitement once this stuff actually gets revealed, hopefully soon here. All right, Jeff, we should probably maybe just start looking at some super chats here, right? Or did I ever let you do your other stuff that you like to say in the rundown? Did you want to say it, Jeff?
Give us a good rating. Like us on YouTube. Super chats here on YouTube. We'll read those. Carlos Ayin, thank you. One Up for CPU, thank you. Christian, thank you for producing. Go to patreon.com/game mess. Support us there. Best way to get the ad-free podcast. Q&A sessions, things like that. Patreon.com/game mess. But yep, you're right, Mike. We're together. We shouldn't do the same old. This should be a special podcast.
Yeah, special.
Yeah, or subscribe to Mike's Twitch.
Oh, yeah, Tokoto on Twitch. Yes, absolutely. Gets you a lot of the same benefits.
All right. Why don't we have super chats here? We've been going a little bit. We could take, I guess, a little break here, and then we'll get into these.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, we can get into it.
Is Mike kind of the host because it's his house? He can
It's just because I think he's got the gamer station. He's got access to everything, so it's just easier for him to kind of run stuff.
I'm just moving around.
Yeah, it's working just fine.
Yeah. Chad, is Christian
He's
loud?
13 dominance over you.
I know Christian's probably still low.
I'm a beta cuck, so that's fine.
Is Christian loud enough, or is there something you think we should do?
Is this good? I don't know.
You're still green form, but it might be good enough. Let me see what chat says.
Let's just limit it as much like the talking just a little bit. Like you can, if you need to say something, but otherwise,
yeah, you're gonna, because you're pretty low. So
yeah, and it's like he changed a bunch of stuff on his side, and it has not made an improvement.
If I go above this, it's gonna start breaking.
Yes, exactly. So let's just be careful with it.
Yeah, it's just
all right.
Chill.
Yep, Mike, if you read the super chats, because it's just a tiny bit of far.
Yeah, I got it.
Cool. You usually read them on the show. Okay, cool. I'll bring us back in a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did take us into the break there. I am in Nintendogs mode.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Switch 2 especially.
No, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. And again, I'm a little bit far away, so it's just kind of hard to do everything. Okay, we're back. Mike, we did get a bunch of super chats. Let's read some of those before we get into our Game of the Year stuff.
Sure thing. Simon from Saskatchewan says, are the early Hellblade games on your radar for Blight Club? Dogs of the Night especially. Interesting Traitor-like.
Tomb Raider, yeah.
Tomb Raider-like, get it. Who'd look better in red face paint with horns? Definitely, Jeff. You've been in the red face paint before. You look amazing.
Yeah, I did look pretty good in that.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, that sounds. I have no idea what these games are like. I mean, I used Tomb Raider like, but I didn't know they were that bad. Honestly, I've never really even remembered a Hellboy video game.
There is, I know there's one that's pretty infamous. I haven't looked too hard into it. I got to make sure it's like interesting bad. But yeah, a distinct possibility for sure. Simon, again, says Mr. John Drake tells you to pitch him a new Disney game. No remakes, remasters, etc. And no Fox, Star Wars, etc. Also, no Quackshot 2, Mike.
All right, easy. Brink, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater clone. Just make a clone. The best decom, obviously, and it deserves a. It could even be a downhill jam clone because that's kind of what they do in that show, in that movie.
I'm trying. I already gave my Rocketeer pitch when somebody asked about movie games. Let me act like I'm John Drake and I actually really need to worry about making money. Like that's a bigger.
He doesn't give a shit.
That's a bigger concern, right? Then it gets difficult. You know what, man? Why don't you make a Moana game that's at least kind of like Wind Waker? I'm not expecting it to be exactly like Wind Waker, but you could kind of do that.
I like that. That's pretty cool. That'd be fun.
Let's do that. Daily Beating, who's been a member of our Lincoln tier for 10 months on
Thank
YouTube,
you.
says, Jeff, as a Michigan fan, who are you hoping wins the CFP? Doesn't seem like there is a good team for a Michigan fan to root for, lol.
Yeah, well, I think there is. I am rooting for, I know this is going to sound insane, but I'll be quick about it, Ohio State. Because if Ohio State wins, they won the national championship, and I, as a Michigan fan, can still go, I don't care. We beat you, and that's more important. We beat you in Alabama, so we still had a better season than you because you are, deep down, you know this season doesn't really feel like a national championship because you lost to Michigan, and that's that's more important. And so that would be awesome to hold. Because to me, this is like 2 championship seasons for Michigan then. Last year, and then beating Ohio State and Alabama this year. So yeah, that is exactly what I've been rooting for.
I like your logic.
Yes, I feel very excited about it.
Tuber says, HR once intervened with a heated conversation between me and a coworker because he insisted it was illegal to own a Poppin' music arcade machine in the USA. What would the reasoning possibly be for it to be illegal?
What's a Poppin' music?
I think it's kind of like the stuff we're talking about.
Oh, okay,
right?
That's what that was. Oh, okay.
Like some of this, like Japanese rhythm games.
HR once intervened. That's nuts. I mean, there's definitely like early problems with like arcades and pinball machines being regulated as like gambling devices. I wonder if there's some like lingering confusion about that. But we definitely saw some poppin' music machines in the United States today.
Cody Bishop says, have you ever watched Deadwood? Amazing HBO Western.
I'm not manly enough to watch Deadwood.
Yes, also agree. Yeah, what I always gathered about Deadwood is that like, this is like a more realistic Western. I'm like, nah. I like the fantasy bullshit idealized Western.
I read a little bit of history books and paid attention a little bit in class, and that seemed like a tough time to be alive.
Yeah, no, I want to watch Shane.
Yeah, yes, I'll watch Shane again. Yeah,
that's what I want from my Westerns. Jackie G says, halfway through games of the decade so far. I guess we are, huh?
Yeah. I guess that's how you would count it, right?
That's pretty wild. I'm trying to think, like 2020. I mean, Elden Ring would be up there. You know me, my Resident Evil 4 bullshit. We watched that Tears of the Kingdom speed run. I was like, man, that's a good game.
Yeah, those 3 up there for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing that at all. Again, Astrobot. For sure.
I guess I would put a World of Assassination in there. I guess kind of started in 2016, but I'll cheat a little bit and take that.
Gosh, maybe we should just steal this for like a BCR or something.
I mean, I definitely want to do a game of the generation and kind of start with the Xbox 360 generation and do that as a BCR at some point. But
that's fun.
Yeah, we could do this as well. That'd be fun.
Remember we got to milk all that content doing like the game of years past for a while. That was fun.
Yeah.
Especially those early years when it was like consoles you didn't play as much as a kid, so I just got to decide things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Brandon Alvarado, the first super chat here, says, I got unfortunate news about a family member today, but this show has helped keep me positive during these 5 years of being a fan, so I wanted to say thank you for doing a great show. every week. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that. Do appreciate those kind words, though, and hope that we are able to help, do what we can to spread a little bit of joy.
Absolutely.
JD Camp says, Genesis is the only Terminator I've seen. I'm sorry. I think that's the only one I haven't seen. And also, JD Camp, you spelled Genesis wrong here. It has a Y.
It's a Y instead of that I there.
Yeah. That one looked so bad. I was like, no.
I think I saw Genesis. I don't know if I've seen, is it Dark Fate?
Dark Fate's the newest one.
I've not seen
Dark Fate was like the third time they
Right.
tried to make a sequel to Terminator 2.
Yeah.
I have to speak now because Dark Fate is good. It's a good, fun movie, action movie.
Is that because part of it takes place in like South America for a bit, or was it Central America?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Clearly it is.
Yes.
Screaming Man says, are we going to do a Game Mess Community Game of the Year vote for 2024?
Yeah, I'll get that set up. That sounds like fun.
Chris Pratt says, went to Dave & Buster's with Miyamoto-san, and he showed me Mario Kart Arcade. Holy shit.
That's, yeah, mind blown, I bet, Chris. I'm glad you were able to get that experience.
Thank you, Chris Pratt. The Uncharted Wolf says, I've been playing Metroid Prime 2 on the Wii. The Prime games feel 10 times better on there. You all have games that feel better on other platforms. I should on the Wii, but Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition was the best. It's still, I think, the best way to play original Resident Evil 4. That version rules. That feels so good with those controls.
Yeah, I mean, even the Metroid Prime games, when I played with the Prime Hack Dolphin emulator and was playing it with mouse and keyboard, that was a really cool way to play that game.
Right. Oh, I would like that a lot. But yeah, that's probably my big example for that. I mean, I am... Like, I want to, when I'm like 3 months out from Metroid Prime 4 coming out, and it really looks like they aren't going to port Metroid Prime 2 and 3 to Switch, then I'm going to, like, use my Wii U to play Metroid Prime Trilogy so I can play through 2 and 3 finally.
Just get it set up on the Steam Deck. Let me just do that.
That sounds illegal. I can't be like, I don't want to go to jail.
It's not a sweaty woman's foot. You're fine.
That's it for the Super Chats for now. Thank you so much,
Thank
everybody.
you, everybody.
If you want to send more, we will read them before the end of the show. Why don't we take one more little break here? We're going to get set up because we are going to decide the Game of the Year.
Let's decide, everybody.
2024.
All right, it's deciding time.
All right.
Can you set up that
Yeah, should I?
blank?
Are we going to do
Get a blank.
some kind of a thing here? Dun.
Get a
Yeah.
I got it.
Google
Okay, cool.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Shit.
Yeah, no, I like Dark Fate. Dark Fate's good.
Who's in Dark Fate? Like
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
that's
Arnold.
right. That's right. They brought back what's her name or whatever.
Linda Hamilton.
They brought back Linda
Linda
Hamilton.
Hamilton,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think
she's-
I think I saw the reviews and I was like, okay, I'm good then.
Okay.
It's
No.
okay.
Look, it wasn't the worst one, but I did not like it.
We'll like I said, everybody, we'll probably decide our game of the year for Game Mess, and then just a couple of categories, small things. I guess if you want to suggest categories in Super Chats as well, we can do some quick ones that way as well. So if you want to, here's your chance to produce the show. Let us know if you have any ideas there.
You're right. They have a CG Edward Furlong in that movie. When
Really?
He was a kid.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he
they
gets shot.
kill him right
They
away.
kill him.
That was, I'm not gonna lie,
Yes,
one of the
very
stupid
fun.
things I didn't like in the movie so much.
You didn't like that? I
No.
love that
I
shit.
should
I
watch
thought
Well, it was
hilarious.
I get so turned off by any movie that does like the bad CG body double thing, especially just to kill the character off. All right, that looks good enough.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks like shit, but I accept it.
All right, how do you want to? 1 second. Let's do. Okay, yeah, let's do here like this. Okay, I'll just ask you when we go live. Let's go back live.
Okay.
Do you want me to put this here so we can actually see chat?
Sure.
Yeah, we don't need to see it. Okay. All right, Jeff. What category did you want to do first here?
Yeah, let's start with game they didn't get. So these categories, everybody, these will be personal categories. We don't have to like try to convince one another. We'll just say Just our opinion about it, talk about it a little bit. And for this one, this is a game that we liked that we think most other people did not understand or did not appreciate in the way that we did. And I'll give mine, and I think it's probably going to be pretty obvious to anyone that's listened to me this year. It is Star Wars Outlaws. Now, this is a game that has a lot of problems. It's a pretty mediocre open world game, but it did what I wanted from it, which is have kind of immaculate vibes. And which is why I think I was really happy it ended up in our best walking around category at Giant Bomb, because walking around that world, being in the Star Wars place, happening across Lando Calrissian, playing cards, doing crimes, having your ship, having a cool droid wearing a trench coat, all this stuff looked amazing, sounded amazing, felt amazing. It was just like living and breathing Star Wars in a way that which is what I wanted from an open world Star Wars game. So it's the game that, like, okay, I can see the problems with it, but I'm also seeing past those problems because it's delivering something that I've been asking for, and I understand the difficulty of making a very good video game, especially your first time out kind of working in a property. So I'm going to be okay with those problems, not like dismiss them. I'm just going to be okay with them so I can enjoy the stuff that I've been asking for and have not gotten before this point. So yeah, that's the one that I got, but everyone else doesn't seem to understand.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, I remember at first when you weren't like quite super high on Indiana Jones, I kind of asked you, like, you feel like a little confused why Indiana Jones is like being so beloved and Outlaws kind of mostly got like panned and forgotten a little bit.
Yeah, and I understand that a little bit better now after playing a lot more Indiana Jones and beating that game, and I have not beat Outlaws. I get that now, but it was definitely like, yeah, I think there's some similarities here. But you know, there's a little. I think Indiana Jones is a little bit more interesting to play as well, so that helps out there. But yeah, do you have a game that other people did not get?
I don't completely mean this, but I do kind of mean it. I don't think Suicide Squad's that bad. Look, it's not like I played a ton of it. Whenever I was playing, it's like, this is pretty fun. I understand that the derision came more from like the live service stuff and the Schluter stuff, and I get that. I roll my eyes at it too. But like, that stuff's important. It's not as important as how does the game feel. I always thought the game felt kind of fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of other bad decisions there, for sure. But I thought that maybe the reaction was a little harsh for it, is all. Now, I think your answer is better. If we could call Star Wars Outlaws the winner here.
Yeah, but I mean, and like I said, we don't have to have winners here. This can just be our personal choices. But like, you know, I think you're definitely not wrong. That is one of those games where it's like, it's not necessarily being fully judged on its merits. It's being judged by like the way people feel about gaming overall right now, and it's carrying a lot of that baggage. And you know, that's, you know, fair. People are allowed to feel the way they feel about those things, and the game is not amazing by any stretch, but it's definitely not this trash fire people made it out to be.
Here, for Christian, I'll write Concord.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm shedding a tear right now.
All right, what else should we do here, Jeff?
Let's do that game that we didn't get.
Okay, I like it.
Do you have one here? Because I'm like, this is a category I want to do, and I'm like trying to remember what.
Well, are you going to say 1,000 times resist?
I mean, I get that. I get 1,000 times resist, but I think. Well, I mean, I could go with even like Metaphor over 1,000 times resist, where it's like where I'm playing. I'm like, I kind of see what people like about this, but I think maybe I'm playing. I'm like a little surprised that people fell so deeply in love with it kind of immediately. Where I'm like, it's another RPG, but that's also me not playing enough of it. Is probably what happened there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, how far did you ever get in it?
A couple hours.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, you got to play for 10 hours for it to get good. Like, I liked it from the beginning, but part of that was just like, I thought the world was neat. I thought the characters were instantly good. And, I thought the combat system was interesting as they, as they always do, kind of slowly dole it out. Of course, the game hits a stride after a while. I never expected you to really want to stick around for that stride. It's fine, right? Not really your kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess honestly, maybe I would go Hellblade 2, but I feel like most people didn't get that.
Yeah,
either, so.
and I don't want more people to get mad at us for what are they picking on Hellblade 2? It's just,
I'm not picking on Hellblade 2. I'm allowed to not like a game. Like that's crazy. I don't like the game, and I'm allowed to not like it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even try Hellblade 2 because I just knew right from hearing people talk about it as much as they did.
Trying to move her up that hill and realizing it wasn't a cutscene, and I was like, I'm just holding forward. I'm holding a play button. That's a way to get me to hit the ejection button on any game. So yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling a little bit to think of one of these for me.
Let me ask you this: do you fully get Balatro?
It was in my top 10.
It was in your top 10. Okay.
Right? Yeah. So I did. But I'm trying to think of, is there some other roguelike that you guys want? Because last year I maybe would have put Vampire Survivors on here a bit.
Sure. A
game that I liked, but you guys were this is 1 or 2. I was like, man, really? Okay, sure. AJ saying Dragon Age. Maybe I could say Dragon Age. But I think a lot of people didn't get Dragon. AJ liked Dragon Age a lot, and God bless him. Ooh, that's a good one, Divorce Cougar. Thank you very much. This is a game that shocked me that I didn't like it. And it is a remaster, but I thought I was going to be gung-ho for this. This is Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered.
Doctor.
Yeah. Because I have come so far around on sort of survival horror games, stuff like that. Not this isn't survival horror, but horror adjacent things.
Right. And it was the tone that set you off on this one, right? For the most part.
Well, yeah, but even the gameplay loop stuff, I thought I was somebody who wouldn't be annoyed by the things that Dead Rising annoys people for, right? Because I usually don't I'm not too easy to abraze. Is that the word? Right?
It's a very descriptive thing. I get what you're trying to say.
Right. Yes. I'm the guy who's I like that the encounter rate is high in this game.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Dead Rising, what got me was I got to escort this person, and it was very hard to keep them alive. And it's well, maybe I should be okay with them dying. And I do kind of have that problem with them. It's but I'm the good guy.
Yeah.
I gotta keep this person alive. That's the Fire Emblem brain in me. It's oh, my party member died. I don't just keep going with the permadeath. I restart until I save the person. It's oh, maybe I can't really do that here. But yeah, it was the tone thing. Because I thought, oh, this is gonna be a comedy, just a big goof the whole time. And then the starting scene was a mom and a child horrifyingly getting enclosed by zombies and then screaming before they die. I was well, that's not fun. I'm a little confused by all this actually.
Yeah, I think the game was a little confused about what it was, and then it finds its footing, and then you kind of do realize what it's going for, but the opening doesn't necessarily match. But yeah, I think that's a good answer.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
Cool.
I thought I saw a pretty decent one maybe from a super chat here from Tuber. 2024 game you will forget you reviewed in 3 years. Now, me and you, I didn't really necessarily write a ton of reviews.
Yeah, me neither.
But in general, talked about.
Yeah, we review them on the Bombcast and stuff like that. I get that. God, that's tough. I have a list of 25 games that I put on my top 25 list. I'm gonna look at them what's the one I'm most likely to forget. I got that here somewhere.
Okay, I like that.
All right. You know what? So there's Tekken 8. No.
I kind of do forget about Tekken 8 being a 2024 thing sometimes. I kind of feel bad about that because I did like it.
Yeah.
It is weird because it doesn't really impact me, but the community turned on that game in a weird way. And part of me is well, if they turned on it, well, I got to stick up for it.
You know what? Maybe it is Tekken 8. As I'm looking at it, that is 25th favorite game of the year. And
yeah, I think I actually ended up cutting it from my top 10. And again, I liked Tekken 8.
Yeah, I enjoyed Tekken 8, but I think I'm going to probably forget all the things I liked about that in a little bit. I'm already kind of forgetting at this point.
The Uncharted Wolf recommended best video game food of the year.
All right, let me look reference this list and see what foods popped in mind. Yeah, go ahead.
The ultimate food on the video game is real food, which is Dragon's Dogma 2. They had the ultimate food in video game.
That was good.
Okay, wait a second. I want to go back to game we didn't get. For me, Dragon's Dogma 2.
There you go.
And also, game you will forget your review. Gosh, well, that one's so weird because that game reviewed really well.
Really well. It was like almost
It's like an
90.
87?
Yeah, it was almost a 90 Metacritic.
And then like no one wanted to talk about it when Game of the Year time came around. What happened?
I think it's a complicated love, right? It is not the game you bring home to mama. It's got more going on. Like, it's interesting and kind of an asshole and in your face and breaks in fun ways, but you are not going to marry Dragon's Dogma. And I think when it came time to marry it for Game of the Year, everyone's like, no, we're good.
Yeah. It did have, I did like it just doing the FMV food thing. In fact, there's like more games. I was even thinking this when Dan was playing Terminator 3 and they had these expensive like CG cutscenes. I was like, you're a movie game.
Yep.
Just like, and it's like you're on a DVD. Just use scenes from the movie.
Yeah. For people who don't know, Dragon's Dogma 2 just uses footage of real food being cooked for the cooking scenes. It's great.
Yeah. But even better than that, in Mario Party Jamboree, that steak cutting mini game. Oh, that steak looked incredible.
I mean, when it comes to rendering food like in a video game, no one's actually better at it than Nintendo.
Right.
That Kirby racing game a few years back.
Oh, right.
So many awesome looking desserts. Nintendo just crushes at that. So yeah, from steak from Mario Party.
That's what Mario Party. We get it.
Yeah, Mario Party. Yeah.
Typing, I'm like slightly disoriented from where I usually am on my keyboard, and typing is way harder. Mikey O'Leary says, "Video game food of the year: the Star Wars Outlaws." What was the food from that?
The minigame where you eat with your partner.
And there's like a lot of like as part of like establishing the world and making it feel alive. There's a lot of like little just kiosks where people are making food.
It's like Star Wars street food.
Yeah, Star Wars street food. At a handful of them, you can stop at the corner, and there'll be like a little seat for you to sit at. And you can sit at it, and you bring your little pet up, and you eat together, and it upgrades your pet, your little friend that like can steal stuff for you, and it's fantastic because the food looks good, it looks really interesting, and then it has a meaningful operation on the mechanics.
Here's a category I just came up with.
Yep.
Best 2024 game you're saving for another year.
Yeah, that's there's a handful of like games like that.
Yeah, because I think big one for me is Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth.
Oh yeah, totally.
A few people I noticed talking about the Giant Bomb Game of the Year stuff. Were like, hey, everybody seemed really high on Like a Dragon in the beginning of the year. Then it didn't have a great showing in maybe the Giant Bomb end of the year.
Yeah, I was a little kind of caught off guard by that. I was ready for it to be a little bit more of a Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth love fest, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And I was like, I was gonna be like, the third person backing it. And when it was like, oh no, I'm the one that would have to push that. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I really like it. It is, I think it's in my top 10. It's number 7 on my list. It's a fantastic game. I think you're really gonna like it, Mike. So
I do kind of like just want to go through the series at some point. Now, when I say that, part of me is like, wow, what do people think about like Yakuza 5? I don't know. But I guess that's something I'll figure out. Am I gonna play Lost Judgment? I don't know, but we'll see. I'll play Yakuza 0 at least, and then see where I kind of feel. It's like maybe do 0, then 7 and 8, and then maybe like worry about going back to other ones.
Yeah,
and it'd be fun.
For this one, I didn't finish Outlaws. I want to do that. I want to play more Dragon's Dogma 2. I want to do that all year, but it's like that we had moved on from the conversation, so I couldn't justify for like the podcast or whatever. But yeah, I'm not sure for this one. Let me think about it for a second.
It's interesting. I was trying to think of something that I really like that maybe you didn't get to, but you're not. Again, with Metaphor, you're fine with that, and you tried it. It's not like
it's definitely one where I'm like, I wish, put Black Myth Wukong on.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, I haven't touched a second of that.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on the game, other than I thought it looked cool in early video. I think the development studio is weird, but there are a lot of weird development studios. I still want to try the game.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
I mean, are there categories you want to do here before we get to the?
No, yeah, I think that's pretty good. And if people drop in more in the super chats, we could always take an aside and do those if we see one that we really want to hit.
Mike, you don't want to put Final Fantasy 14 on games you're gonna save for another year?
I mean, I started it. I played it technically, and I'm going to finish it. Yeah,
He's
okay.
not gonna finish it.
I'm gonna. Oh, please. I can't be completely off the 14 train. No, I can't tell that story, but you know what I'm talking about.
Wait,
Yeah.
let me ask: if you didn't finish it, and then a new thing came out, like, what is your option there? You got to finish.
You
it?
have to finish it.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
the thing. Like, eventually, like, the new thing will get announced, and I'll be very excited for it. It's like, well, I do have to finish this, so I'm caught up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the wild thing. That's especially now, because all these expansions could take 100 hours to get through, and there's 5 of them. And it's like, man, if you really do just want to get into this series now, it's rough.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Now, Jeff, we've already talked about our individual top 10s.
Yeah, I mean, do we just want to just put them here so people could see them, and then kind of try to pick a game of the year?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay.
I gotta pull my own up.
Yeah. Here, do you want to just write mine down real quick, or you want to get yours up first?
Let me write yours down real quick. Where are you starting from?
Do you want me to start at 10 or 5?
5.
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean 5?
Do you want me to do just a top 5 or top 10?
Your top 10.
Okay. All right. And then do you want me to
Start at 10.
Okay. 10 is The Rise of the Golden Idol.
Don't judge my typing, everybody.
Number 9 is Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip.
Terry's Turbo Trip.
I
gotta be honest, I don't even know. I still don't know what that game is.
Oh, that's a real quick one that you should just play.
Yeah.
You don't even look it up. Just start playing. It's a fun time.
Okay.
It's a GTA for kids kind of.
Okay.
8 is Mini Shoot Adventures.
This is one I just missed my list.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
I really liked it. It just wasn't up for the top 5. Number 7 is Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Number 6 is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Balatro. Or Balatro. And then Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. A video game. Number 3 is Nintendo World Championships, NES Edition.
You really like that.
Yes. Number 2 is Astrobot. And number 1 is Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown.
How's your know that? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me get mine up real quickly. Here. Was that difficult for you to get your number 1? Because
Yes.
yeah, I wavered on my 1 or 2 for a while, which you will find out about here in a second.
Yeah. It was pretty tough, but in the end I felt good about this. I think when we are 5 years out, and this is how when I'm doing this sort of thing, this is how I try to do it now. I try to think, hey, if I'm going to go 5 years from now and think back to this year, what will I say is the game I'm most excited about? And it's going to be Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And Astrobot's right there. It really is. It was between those two, and Astrobot, and it was for a while there, it's like Prince of Persia wasn't in the top 3 mix, and then I sat down and thought about it. Obviously, the Giant Bomb Game of the Year discussions helped, but that put it into perspective. That Lost Crown is number 1 for me.
Okay, so for me, my number 10 is Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That name grew on me, by the way, after a while.
Yeah, and by the end, especially where the MacGuffin stuff goes, I ended up feeling pretty good about the MacGuffin, even though I didn't love it at the beginning.
My number 9 is Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore.
My tummy's rumbling. I don't know if people can hear that. We had burgers for dinner. It was good.
That was pretty good. My number 8 is Balatro.
Okay.
And everybody, I see people sending in more suggestions for categories. We'll look at some of those after this. We'll answer those. If we don't quite spreadsheet them out,
Yeah,
we'll
even
still
if we don't
answer yours.
Yes, we'll still do our best to give it some lip service and everything like that.
Number 7 is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Number 6 is another great RPG remake, Persona 3 Reload. Number 5 is Silent Hill 2. We kind of have a remake area there. It continues. Number 4 is Final Fantasy.
The remake ghetto in the middle
right.
of his list, yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like the top 4, especially, like different days, I could have switched them around.
Yeah,
Especially-
yeah, totally.
Even more so the top 3, because my number 3 is Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and then I really struggled to get number 2 and number 1 figured out, but my number 2 was Metaphor,
Wow.
like Fantasio. My number 1 was Astrobot.
Wow.
I think I said this at the time, but there was like, I remember when I saw Astrobot win Game of the Year at the Game Awards and just how happy I was at one.
Yeah.
Like even then, I kind of was like, that probably is it. And then watching the speed run of it actually at Games Done Quick earlier in the week, I was like, oh gosh, God, that game is so good. I love Metaphor a lot, obviously, and I really don't have any big complaints about it. It's funny, like last year was like such a good year for almost everyone. I think this year was also a great year, but maybe for others more than others. And I like RPGs a lot. I like platformers a lot. There's just a lot of good Mikey stuff this year. So
Yeah.
I had a great year of new releases.
Yep. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff in my wheelhouse, so I was very happy with this year. I mean, Astrobot was a dream come true. It really was.
Now let me real quick. Let's see what games are in both of our lists. We definitely both have Astrobot and Prince of Persia.
Mm-hmm.
We both have Balatro. We both have Indiana Jones, and that might be it actually for the shared ones. Actually,
Yeah.
So like, do you think that automatically is like? Because we'll just do a top 5 for the joint thing here.
Yeah, that you're probably right. I mean, what probably happens here is if we say no at this point, we probably have a conversation, and then we end up with those 4 in the top 5.
Right. I mean, if there's one that's not on our list you feel like really strongly should be on it, we can maybe have that conversation.
Yeah.
But like, it feels like right now there's room for one. I guess there's like a part of me that, this is supposed to be our combined list, but there's still a part of me that would want Metaphor in there anyway.
Can I ask? Is Shadow of the Erd Tree not on your list because of the expansion stuff, or what?
I'm not like
I know you're not like militant about that stuff.
No, I'm not. But there's a part of me that's like,
I think that like I said during the Giant Bomb stuff, I think it's completely fair to consider it, but I just want it to be considered.
Yeah.
Like, let's have a conversation about it. But and if that's one of the reasons you're not including it, I think that's completely.
yeah, no, like
fine.
I consider it. Like I liked it a lot for sure. But it's it's like that year. What was it last year before where Metroid Prime Remastered came out? And I did like that a lot. I'm sure included in my list. And even though it's like some ways, yeah, it's probably the best game that came out. I'm like, well, there's a reason I'm not going to make this.
Yes.
Number 1.
Of course, exactly. Same thing, yes.
And I had a hard time kind of fitting all the games I did want in my top 10. Like, ours at the Jewel of Fairmore. Yeah, that's me kind of making a point putting that on the list. I want to make sure.
Can we put
I
RZ
talk
at
about-
number 5?
That'd be kind of sweet, actually.
All right, put Metaphor and RZ there
Let's
for
figure it out.
consideration.
Yeah. So for people who don't know or remember, Arzette, the Jewel of Fairmore, is that indie game inspired by the bad CDI Zelda games, and it's incredible. It's just this, and it still plays like those games, but actually plays a lot better. It still has all that campiness. I loved it. I thought it was a very funny game and a very breezy, just entertaining playthrough.
I think it's probably among these games.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you really want to be on the list?
I mean, sure, but not one that I think is reasonable looking at your list.
Look, I like Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. I just
No, I get
wanted
it.
a little more juice from it.
Yeah, I get it. This is that's me being very happy with that game despite its obvious glaring flaw and not holding that against it, even though it should be held against it. That's all that is. I don't expect anyone to have that game in their top 10 other than me.
And I did joke to you about like, oh, you got to finish Thousand Year Door, which obviously you're very busy. I don't expect you to have to do anything. But do you think like is it only not on your list because you didn't finish it, or you think it just wasn't gonna make it?
No, it's you know what? I think the reason it's not on my list is I didn't even really give it a fair consideration because it's a remake.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was just that it was that simple, and there wasn't even really thought put into it. It just sort of happened that way.
And like, it definitely is a weighted scale for me. Thousand Year Door is much more of a 1-to-1 remake than a lot of these other remakes
Sure.
on my list.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Silent Hill 2 is a lot more going on. Persona 3 even, and Rebirth is completely just a new game, really.
Yep.
So yeah, even though like, maybe I like Thousand Year Door more than Persona 3 Reload, like Persona 3 Reload is more impressive
Yep.
to me. Okay, so we were considering right now Prince of Persia, Astrobot, Balatro, Indie, RZ, Metaphor. So I think we either cut Metaphor because, it is just me, or Indiana Jones is the lowest on both of our lists in terms of the shared ones.
Yeah, I love it, but I don't need it to be on this list. I mean, it's gonna get its love.
I liked it a lot. It was I don't want to say that the bugs really bothered me that much, but it was mildly janky.
I noticed them. They did not bother me, and I am shocked that I don't hear more people talking about the bugs.
They did kind of get away with it more so than say like a Starfield did, and I'm no Starfield defender, right?
Right, and it's like, man, whenever I'm playing this game, I'm like, man, this game's gonna get torn apart for this stuff, and crickets, and I don't care. I don't just not mind bugs. I like bugs a lot of times. So it didn't really get to me, but it's like, no, boy, it was filled with them. So that's not the reason I need to cut it, but I think I think that's a really solid game. I do have it very high on my list, number 6, and I'm happy with that because I had good feelings about that game. But a lot of that is I love Indiana Jones as a character, and I kind of don't need that to be the reason we put it on the Game S Top 5.
That is a lot of it for me, right? Yeah. Like, because, I've seen other people say, like, it doesn't necessarily, like, do any of these individual aspects amazing, the puzzles.
Right, the thing it does amazing is be Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's enough to be amazing.
Exactly.
Right? I am amazed at it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't...
Yeah, let's cut that. Let's keep Metaphor.
So just chat talk about games where you haven't really talked about. What about UFO 50? Where did that kind of land for you when it's all said and done?
More interested in it than enjoyed it.
Yeah. I kind of wanted... I never spent as much time with it as I thought I would.
Same.
I think it was a little bit of a victim of how many games were coming out.
Yes.
So I didn't maybe spend as much time
if it had
as
come
I
out,
wanted to.
If it had come out in the first half of the year, I think it would have been a very different thing with my relationship with that game.
Yeah. You know what? I want to go back real quick. Games I'm saving for another year because I want to play this year after hearing Dan talk about his mouth washing.
Oh, yeah. That's actually going to be like the next thing I play.
Yeah.
I'm still not in the headspace to like play a game that has a lot of that stuff going on, but I will be soon, and that's going to be it.
Okay, overshot here. All right, we have 5 games here. Do we feel good about these 5 games?
Yes, I do.
Let's order them. Look, Metaphor can be last.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yep.
That makes sense. That's fine.
Ooh, that means Arzette's number 4. I love that.
Yeah, Arzette's number 4.
That's in like the teens on my list, by the way.
Awesome. God, yep. I loved it. So I was amused, but also like happy, like how it almost got close into the...
It was a very good strategy that when I was like, Mike, what's going on with Arzette? You're like, I think we should talk about... And it was like anything else. It was... I enjoyed that. It was fun.
I think 3 for Balatro is probably right here.
Yeah. I mean, I think what we're probably looking at is what do we want to have number 1, Astro or Prince of Persia?
Yeah. And...
I mean, Astrobot, like if you kind of... I mean, look, we don't have to do it this way. If you just do the math... It's number 1 because it's number 1 on yours, number 2 on mine, and Prince of Persia is number 3 on yours, number 1 on mine.
Yeah, but my 1, 2, and 3 could be. It's so arbitrary. Almost.
I'm same here. You're right. It's not a great way of doing it. I think I just like want to do a different game of the year than we had a Giant Bomb. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but that also doesn't have to be the reason we do it. Astrobot is also like I said on my thing on Giant Bomb. I don't necessarily love the idea of always pitting games against one another on lists. Astrobot also is really my game of the year. Like it really is. I said it was a dream come true. I mean that. It is the game I dreamed of them making one day. They did, and it's kind of better than I ever expected it to be. So, I mean, I think we should just make it Astrobot, but I don't know what you're thinking.
I mean, look, I made number 1, so I have no problem with it. It's just I do just want to talk about how incredible I think Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is.
Yes.
Right. Especially from a publisher that is just spiraling out of control at the moment. And then out of nowhere, we get one of the greatest Metroidvanias ever. And me and you, we love Metroidvanias. That is such our thing.
They give a little team inside of the company a chance to go do something awesome, and they did, despite the storm raging around them. And it is going to be a game that, whatever happens with Ubisoft, people are going to look back and be like, man, remember they made that gem of a game, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown? And it's going to be whispers because it's not going to be a massive audience of people that ever played that game. But it should be more.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things like, and maybe I'm crazy for this, but like 10 years from now, 15 years from now, I bet more people will be talking about The Lost Crown than Assassin's Creed Mirage,
Yeah, I hope so. I think if you are a YouTuber making a video about games that like have the juice and mean something from this generation, you're absolutely right. They're going to talk about the Lost Crown instead of Mirage. They're going to talk about the Lost Crown more than maybe any other Ubisoft game from this generation. So, yeah, I mean, boy, that's a good game. And I haven't played the DLC yet. I tried.
Yeah.
That might be another thing I kind of do here pretty soon. I am in the mind space for that.
Gosh,
So
the combat is so smooth, the traversal so smooth. I know like some people are like, well, the downside is the story. I wasn't bothered that much by the story.
yeah, I'll say I didn't notice it for the most part, which is for me a compliment.
Yeah. But Astrobot is just so freaking good. Again, like watching this rerun, just being reminded of these levels, how many fun tricks it has, and how it like almost delights in not lingering on any one trick too long. That whole level with the shrinking, which is incredible. They could have done a whole like galaxy
game
just with that, a whole game with just that. It's like one level, you do that. And then, like, you know, there's this weird power-ups that don't even seem as sexy. Like, you turn into a marble, like a big ball, and it's heavy. I'm like, oh, this one's great, too.
That's my favorite power.
Right. It's not even just power-ups. Like, that
Yeah.
weird level where it's, like, day and night when you hit the switches and the level just kind of, like, rotates 90 degrees or something like that. The bosses are so good and just so, like, animated and so lively as you're fighting them, the way they react to you. It really is just so freaking delightful. And, you know, I get it. References are references. They're pretty freaking good references. They do a good job with that.
Yeah, it's just a parade of confidence. It is a nonstop demonstration of a studio that knows it is working with some of the funnest stuff anyone's ever put in a video game. And the reason that they can move on from these amazing things from one level to the next is because they know the next thing is just as fun. And that requires a huge amount of belief in yourself, in the game you're making. And it's evident when you are in there playing that game that the studio knew what it had, and they were right. They were 100% right.
Yeah. Again, a lot of great games this year. And, you know, there is some arbitrariness to this. So saying Astrobot is 1, Prince of Persia is 2, even that Balatro is 3, right? These are all incredible games. I really did have so much fun playing through. I mean, I really did spend a vast majority of this year just playing new releases because there was always one I wanted to play.
Yep. I think those being the top 3 really is just like, yeah, that was this year.
So let me say this one more time. Make sure you're good with it. Number 5, Metaphor Fantasia. Number 4, RZ, The Jewel of Faramore. Number 3, Balatro. Number 2, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. And number 1, Astrobot.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Absolutely. Astrobot winning another game of the year, hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, good on it. Can't complain. Gosh, I hope I don't know if I want more. I don't know if I necessarily want more Astrobot, but God, I just want more things like that. I don't know if it's like that joy or just that kind of spark or that liveliness from it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think my dream now after getting this is Sony, because we got those rumors that Sony's going to have a bunch of deep cut games from its library come back in one way or the other. And my dream would be let Team Asobi sort of shepherd that. And you know, what once may have been a team or a Japan studio initiative, let Team Asobi sort of step in and take that role. Let them make the game they're going to make, and then alongside that, have a Doucet or whatever the director of the game, have him like step in, take a look at some of these other projects, and give them pointers and direction, and say, hey, this game could be a little bit more like this as they go back and remake who knows what from their past. So. That would be fantastic. I think they have something amazing here. I think they know they have something amazing, and that they should be building on this alongside of, you know, the stuff that happens at Naughty Dog and Santa Monica and everywhere else.
It really was just a good year, and you know, there's games we even talk about. You know, I liked Crow Country a lot for an indie game. Helldivers 2, tons of fun. Even the Call of Duty this year really hit for me. Marvel Rivals at the end there has been fun. So yeah. Just good stuff all around, but I do feel good about this list. Congrats to Astrobot. Why don't we take another break, Jeff?
Yep, and shout out to EA Sports College Football 25 as well.
Why am I hosting again? You tell them we'll be right back.
We'll be right back, everybody. I don't care. Anybody can host the show.
All right. Let's readjust here. All right. 1 second.
There we go. I punched my microphone by accident.
Be like that sometimes.
I thought this was a Metroidvania podcast.
All right.
Remember a few years ago, I didn't even know what an OBS was.
Yep.
Look at me go now. Look,
1,000 times is-
look at I should have put that in games I'm saved for another year, Christian. I do want to check it out at some point. I swear.
All right.
I swear.
Um,
We should make a new overlay, maybe Astrobot themed or something. I know we said we are going to do that for Resident Evil 4 and we didn't. Partly because Resident Evil 4's title card aesthetics aren't actually super exciting.
Right.
Okay. But especially since we have like our Twitter handles on these things now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah.
We'll get that fixed up.
yeah.
Okay, let me open. We'll do super chats
it up,
here in a
boy.
second. Anything else? Let me make sure.
Super chats and what we've been playing, and then we out.
Yep.
Cool.
There's maybe one we missed Yeah, we didn't do this one from Cody, but then there were some that we did do about topics. So I can help you out here. I'm reading them. I remember.
Grubb. It was like number what?
No,
So that's fine.
it's good. It's good. Hi, Nick. By the way. All right,
All right.
I'm ready.
Cool. I'll bring us back. All right, we're back. I've arrested the show once again for Mike Minotti. It's back. Yes, we are going to read some more super chats. So now I hand the show back over to Mike Minotti.
Cody Bishop says, any chance you can play Oregon Trail on... says Giant Mom. I assume they meant Giant Mom.
No, they meant Giant Mom.
That'd be funny, too.
That's a good name.
I always want to play Oregon Trail.
I watched that gaming historian video on there, which may be his best thing ever.
It is.
It's so good. His Tetris one is also amazing. But boy, that Oregon Trail one.
I love that. It was a history teacher who
Yes.
did that. That's incredible.
It's really, really good. So yeah, we should play Oregon Trail.
Absolutely. And then from Nintenderic, most unique game for one of your categories. Type of game you'd have trouble even telling people what genre it is. I mean, like UFO 50 is kind of like that in a lot of ways. Like there's no, I guess retro's the genre. That's not really a genre in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's a category on Twitch, but that's it.
Yeah, it's not, for everything I hear, it sounds like mouth-washing might be one of those. And
Yeah,
part of why I want to play it.
Not played it yet. Yeah, something along those lines. I don't think I have a great answer for this. I mean, Balatro everyone's played now, so that's not really easy to get put in this category.
Josh,
did we, Mikey O'Leary? When we were talking about the video game food, did we read his?
Yeah, about the Star Wars Outlaws.
Okay,
We talked about the street
that's
food.
right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. Thank you.
Joshua Prudhomme with the first super chat. Thank you, Joshua says.
Thank you, Josh.
Probably sorry if I said that name wrong. Best Nintendo only game of the year. Now, when we decided our our Switch game of the year, we said Prince of Persia, but that's not Nintendo only.
I mean, mine is clearly NES World Championship.
Right.
Yeah.
And then for me, even though it is a remake, it would be Thousand Year Door. It was not the strongest year for Nintendo.
No,
in terms of software.
Definitely not. But I bet that changes this year.
I think you're right. I think there's a reason why this last year was slow.
Uh-huh.
JD Camp says, best game to play while driving.
Let me think here. I'm the expert. Definitely Balatro. Now, it's funny that because it was what was the game? Marvel Snap, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I would imagine actually trying to do that and how impossible that would be because there's a timer when you're on
That's
it.
why it's so dangerous for your kids.
Yeah. Exactly. But no. Balatro.
I mean, I actually still play Pokemon TCG Pocket every day.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so
He drives every day too.
still cracking them packs. Greg says best game you played with other people. It's like I'm a little surprised myself how I didn't play much more Helldivers 2, but whenever we did play that, it was fun.
Yeah, it was great. I think my answer probably still would be something like Lethal Company or Content Warning, and I probably would lean towards Content Warning. And that a big part of that is who you were playing with. When I was playing with you played that with us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was you and Nikki, and you guys were cracking me up, and it was like. I'm sure it's the people you're playing with is a big part of that, but the game gets credit, I think, as well.
Symbiosis says, I thought this was a Metroidvania podcast. I hope everyone enjoys their gaming in 2025. Thank you, Symbiosis.
Metroidvania won number 2, so there we go.
Special Nick says, Prince of Persia was raw. It's tough year.
Go to giantbomb.com.
Yeah, he'll be happy. Pokey Egg says, does Donkey Kong 64 count as a Metroidvania? No. Just because you have exploration and some gated content behind like progress. That's not enough to be a Metroidvania.
No, and it's like, is Zelda a Metroidvania? It's like, well, it's not exactly the same thing. It's close, similar ideas, but no, it's not.
Mikey O'Leary says, Frankenstein voice, far bad. Many friends are displaced. We had to really not the whole thing.
Well, you're gonna get canceled. You're gonna get canceled.
Just fire bad.
Yes.
I saw where this was going. I was like, oh, I can't do this whole thing in a bad Frankenstein.
No, and there's the lines there to tell you to stop.
I realize that now. Mikey tried to protect me. Many friends are displaced in LA. If you can, donate to the LAFD Foundation, Pasadena Humane Society, World Central Kitchen, or wherever else you think could help. Yes, definitely our hearts are out to everybody impacted by the fires in California and Los Angeles.
It is truly devastating.
Yeah, we have
a lot of friends displaced. A lot of friends had to evacuate. A lot of homes destroyed. It is one of the most devastating fires in California history. Absolutely devastating.
And if you're over there, hope you continue to stay safe and that things work out as well as they can.
Thoughts are with you all.
And that is it for the super chats for now. I mean, Jeff, is there anything like game-wise you want to talk about?
No. I mean, I talked about on Bombcast, Rogue Flight, that Star Fox-like game. Yeah. I've played some more of it. I think that game's really solid. God, on this show we talk about games that try to be spiritual successors to older games we like all the time and how it almost never fully lives up to it. I think this one is kind of threading the needle because it is, we are making a Star Fox, but we're going to make it different in a lot of ways. It's got a ton going on, like in terms of, it feels a lot more like a bullet hell shooter in some ways. It's not, but it's got some of that DNA in there. And I think that helps set it apart enough where I'm like, Star Fox inspired, but it's its own thing and it's excelling at that. So I'm a big fan of it, but yeah, I've only played a few more levels of that. So not much else to talk about.
Yeah, not for me. I don't know if I have much else to talk about. Like getting close to the end of Earthbound. Hopefully, I can beat that before Nintendogs and talk about that there. I have not been able to play more Dark Souls 3. Because again, yesterday I was getting ready for this stream today here. Also wasn't feeling well again yesterday.
Yeah. You're having a rough 2025.
Yeah, I don't want to complain too much because some people are dealing with much worse. Feeling better today. Yesterday was almost silly. I had like my right ear just completely plugged up. It was bad. And it was like a little plugged up and I was an idiot. And I was like, well, the Q-tip will take care of this. And I know what they say about the Q-tip. I know you're not supposed to. But like, I was like, what else am I going to do? So I did it and it made it much worse. So like I ran to like CVS or whatever and like got like some other stuff. But the damage was already done by then. I needed medical help. But my dad was like already out of the office. He didn't have anything. So like, okay, if it still bothers me tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, because I'm going to Games Done Quick. Maybe on Friday, because I'm not going to get up early.
That'd be absurd.
No. Well, the ear was bothering me so much, I gleefully got up really early to go see him. And he, flushed the ear out. He had, it looked like a giant syringe that he put in my ear and just, shot as much, hot water.
Oh, really?
Saline
I could do that at home.
Yeah, it was good. And then he liked delighted in showing me what came out of my ear.
Oh, I bet that was fun. Did it look a lot like what came out of that lady's latex suit?
not quite as watery. Gosh, but I was so relieved though, because it really was just it felt like I had one of those earplugs just in my one ear. It was driving me insane.
That would be okay. Yeah, that has happened to me recently. It hasn't been as bad as you're describing, but I'm like, what do I do if this happens? Is there any recourse? It's good to know that I could just go to the doctor and they'll do something.
Right. Yeah. That's if it comes down to there is the home stuff, and I got even the solution, and even that wasn't doing enough. So I was getting worried. Oh, what if it's not just wax? What if my ear's plugged up because I had that sinus infection? I don't know. Right. Maybe it spread to my ear. But no, took care of that. I don't have to do my colonoscopy on Monday. I thought I was gonna do.
Yay!
Yeah, but it's kind of because I'm not getting my medicine and the cadence I was hoping for. Right. So it's just one thing after another this year. I said last year that I was due for a down year, right? It's fine. Right, I gotta be humbled a little bit.
Yeah, it turned 2025 and immediately people on the Reddit were like, he yells too much. So
yeah, you told me, everyone told me when the Mike Minotti Love Fest first started, when I first started showing up on Giant Bomb, I was like, oh, enjoy that while
they come for you in the end.
Lots of people still very nice to me.
Thank you. More nice people than not.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a great news thread there because it's like 2 threads. It's like, why is there so much yelling on the bombcast so that they blow it? Is Dan Reichert 8 degreaser? It's like, well, Aston answered.
Yep, that was very funny. Yep.
All right. Once again, thank you so much, everybody. I guess I can start playing some music here. I gotta play music.
All right, play the music. Absolutely.
Yeah, look at that.
Mikey, what do you got planned? You got anything going on this weekend? You gonna just stick around, maybe relax since you haven't been feeling great, or you got more? You have like birthday parties to go to. You always seem to have a birthday.
Yeah,
party.
I think this weekend's not bad. There's like a part of me. It's like maybe I should go back for more.
I would love to, but it's going to be hard for me to justify.
Just because Saturday at Games Done Quick, like they're doing Crazy Taxi with the live band. Part of me's like, I should be there. Another part of me's like, I was there for a while today. That was pretty good. Yeah, I need to rest. There's still more I could be cleaning here for sure. Want to play some more games. I definitely want to stream some more Dark Souls 3. You know, next weekend we're going to that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth concert in Cleveland, so that'll be fun. So I'll just look forward to that. I think I'll just stay home and, I don't know, wait for Nintendo to announce something. How about that?
Yeah. Mike, turn up the little speaker thing on the bottom right and see if that affects it.
There you go. Well, fix it for us.
I know, it's fixing it for them too.
Now look at that. You're a genius.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Let's see here. Like Mike said, well, I don't know if you said it. I'm just making shit up now. We'll be back with Last of the Nintendo Dogs next week. We'll have Game As Decides next week. Back to our normal schedule, normal way of doing things. Thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. Did we get any more super chats, Mike?
Oh, Greg says, Mike Minotti, Italian moment of the year. It's when I saw Mussolini walk into the room in Indiana Jones and went, Mamma mia!
I thought you were going to say another Italian moment.
Well, Luigi's
like
an all-timer moment, so don't worry about that.
You're
the
right.
Italian moment of the year for me was when Baker Mayfield did the very hard Italian hand thing because he was playing the New York Giants.
Yeah, can I just say everything that Big Justice has done or whatever his name is?
Boom!
Yes, the Boom family, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Mike, to plug 90s Disney.
Yeah, 90s Disney. We did an episode about what was it? I did it. Oh, Horizons. Listen to that. We'll do a new one soon.
It was good.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time. Go check out Giant Bomb.
Bye. I muted you. They couldn't hear that.
Damn it. No, I think they looks like they can hear us.
They can now.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't. You want to say something else before I
Enjoy your gaming. There you go.
Okay, you did. Can you say something? That wasn't even the soundboard. You just actually ripped ass right in my office.